Yes, I think that we are almost all here, and yes, let's kick off. So my name is Stefano Pozzi-Muselli. I'm the head of the European RDI support team in Lux Innovation. It's really a pleasure and an honor to have you here at the Horizon Europe Day 2022. It's our annual event that we organize every year to guide you through Horizon Europe, the European framework program for research innovation. I will go very quickly through a brief reminder of the agenda today. We will have this introduction. We will then move into the first roundtable of the day, which is about green and digital, implementing the twin transition. We will then have a 15-minute break to allow you to get a coffee, get a tea, refill your mugs. And then we will have the second roundtable, which is about the participation to Horizon Europe, and where people who have participated already to the framework program will share their experience. In the afternoon, after lunch, we will have parallel thematic sessions to guide you through specific areas of the work programs. Some housekeeping rules to begin with. So yes, you can access the individual sessions from the tab on the left. You can also see the agenda. You can jump from one session to the other one. This is more relevant in the afternoon. You can network with the participants. You can find them in the list. On the top, almost on the right, you have the newsfeed where you can see the Twitter activity of the event. If you use the hashtag Horizon Europe Day, you will also be featured there if you live tweet. And you can chat. Feel free to introduce yourself, to say hello to everyone, to talk to us in the chat button that you find on the top right. For your questions, we kindly ask you to use the question and answer tables so we can see them easily, live respond to you, but also it's easier for us to see the burning questions that you have. You can see the other people, and you also have a live poll to share with you about the experience on the platform and how you came to this event. So, off we go. The Horizon Europe NCP team is hosted by Lux Innovation, which is the National Innovation Agency. The mission of Lux Innovation is to empower companies to innovate today to be ready for the challenges that tomorrow brings to them. To do so, we identify innovation opportunities, we foster collaborative innovation projects that stimulate the development of a sustainable, competitive, and digital economy. How do we do so? How does it work in practice? We raise awareness of innovation, what innovation means for companies. We identify and analyze your needs, and we find the best tools to support you, which can mean RDI projects, funding opportunities, collaboration opportunities, and we provide assistance, and we ensure the follow-up. So the idea is that we try to turn ideas into viable collaborative projects with expertise for companies, research, and the public sector. We're in the knowledge accessible, and we attract foreign companies that fit our ecosystem, and we try to build an ecosystem where startups can scale up to their right place in the ecosystem, in Luxembourg, in Europe, and globally. The European RDI support team is, which is hosting almost all of the national contact point team for Horizon Europe. You will see the exceptions at the end of this presentation, is perfectly fitting this strategy and this mission of Lux Innovation. We try to understand your RDI strategy. In parallel, we monitor and develop RDI policies, European RDI policies and agenda. We are actually part of the committees that are drafting these policies. We identify and suggest the most relevant funding opportunities, and we try to help you structuring your RDI projects in a way that they fit well the European cause. We help you searching for partners and consortia. We support the grant monitor. We support and monitor the grant application process. We are also here to offer you legal and financial support. We organize training, workshop, dissemination events, this one, but also public events and tailor-made events. So feel free to contact us if you have specific needs with regards to your projects. Before looking forward, looking at Horizon Europe, which is in its second year, we have now the final figures of Horizon 2020, the predecessor program. And I wanted to start from these few key figures that we have here. We have had 202 million euros, 2 million euros attracted in funding to Luxembourgish actors in Horizon 2020, with 646 participation in total. To understand the magnitude of the number, I just included in this slide the data from FP7, which was a previous framework program, where we had 60 million euros, or roughly 60 million euros in funding and 257 participation. You do the math, but it's a huge change. And really, I want to congratulate with you for that, because it's your projects that have been selected. If we look how this evolved over the years, you can, please don't focus on 2021. It was a particular year with limited resources, with very few calls that were very, very competitive. But you can see here that we have had over the years an increased participation, and it's the great hub that you see on the slide. 2020, we had more than 100 signed grants. What's also very important is that Luxembourg applications tend to be very good in quality, and you can see that the success rate of Luxembourg is always well above the overall European figure. And if you look at the numbers, this is just the financial figures. You see how many millions of funding have been attracted every year. You can always play with the numbers, you can always play this with statistics. Just a little game. If you see 2020 and 2021, they have attracted more funding than the full 7 years of Horizon 20, of FP7. So it was really a huge increase compared to the past. Also considering that, as I told you, 2021 we had just few money available from the Commission. One key strength of Luxembourg is something that I always want to share when I discuss with our companies, when we meet you to discuss your projects, is that we have a very strong private sector when it comes to participating into Horizon 2020. Luxembourg companies are responsible for 44% of the successful proposals and signed grants, compared to 28% at European level. Of course, this is reflected in a slightly lower amount for public research and the higher education sector, which is still very, very competitive in the European ecosystem. And if you look at the thematic priority, you see that Luxembourg is very strong and renowned for its for our ICT digital sector, and indeed you can see how ICT is the first thematic area for projects funded. Health is following. ERC is an indicator of the strength of our public research sector, because it focuses on excellent principal investigators from research. Security is again very strongly linked to the strong capacities we have in the cybersecurity. You can see all these figures. You can also go and see them on the online platforms from the Commission. I wanted to stress that mobility and energy, areas where you have strong impact of digital technologies when enabling a green transition, are very strongly represented. And final slide, looking back, before going forward, is the top 15 applicants. We have, for space and readability, I could include just 15 participants here, but congratulations also to all of you who have been participating. University is the main winner in our ecosystem. 61 million euros, more than entire FP7 for the entire country. It's, as I told you before, the private sector is a very, very strong applicants, very strong participants in Luxembourg, and indeed you can see that there's almost a perfect alternation between public research and private applicants in this table. So it's something that it's yes, it's encouraging. It's encouraging for the future because it's on these successes that we are going to build the future ones. So it's time to look ahead now. Horizon Europe is already running. Always feel free to share your impressions in the chat. Feel free to ask questions. I just take one glass of water one second. And I think that many of you are already familiar with Horizon Europe. For those of you who are not familiar, this is the structure of Horizon Europe. It's very similar to what we had in Horizon 2020. Commission said it's an evolution and not a revolution. There has been sort of shuffling, but basically the three-pillar structure has been maintained. So we have a first pillar, which is dedicated to excellent science, so to grow the scientific excellence on which Europe can base its industrial competitiveness. Pillar 2 is about global challenges and European industrial competitiveness. So you have key priority areas for our economy, for our societies to grow and excel in the global challenges that we have with respect to our competitor and collaborators in other continents. Third pillar is about innovative Europe. It's dedicated to deep tech innovation. So it's about creating startups, creating scale-ups, but also supporting European innovation ecosystems, so the players that can help you in getting more and more successes in European funding. We will talk quite a lot about the twin transition in the roundtable. Twin transition means that Europe wants to have a growth and a recovery from the pandemic crisis, which is based on two main policies: the Green Deal, which is enabling the green transition, but also thanks and in conjunction with a digital transition. So how these two can work together to ensure that Europe is also matching its priority targets for the next years. Very, very important is that Europe is not isolated. We want to have a growth and a recovery in Europe, which is having a positive international impact. So there's always a strong connection between European policies and the global ones, which are represented by the UN Sustainable Development Goals, the UN 17 SDGs that you can see on the left. And you will probably remember this slide also from last year, that for those of you who were here with us at the first launch event of Horizon Europe. Projects to respond to this challenge, we have projects of different natures and approach. We have collaborative projects where consortia can apply, individual projects for PIs and individual companies. We can have top-down compulsory subjects which are identified by the Commission, member states, and some interest groups, so that define calls that are outlining already what you are needing to read. Of course, there are also open calls, bottom-up projects, where you can encourage the innovation to come out naturally. Who can participate? Everyone. Everyone is welcome to join. You have public or private actors. You have all the players in research innovation can participate. You have research organization, academia, companies, both SMEs and large group, association, hospitals, cities. Everyone can join, and we will discuss what's your experience, whether you're coming from one of the sectors, and how we can also support and make the ecosystem to work together towards our goals. Of course, you come with your company, with your research institute, with your needs as a city or as a public office. So, of course, your value proposition and what you can get out of this project is very different. As a startup, you can network, develop idea, concept, and pilots. As a large company, you can be developing new products and bring your whole value chain for developing such products. Researchers can get valorization of their cutting-edge findings, but public offices can work on policy making. Cities can test new solutions, co-design new solutions, and be test beds for these innovative solutions. So everyone can get different benefits from your participation and can bring their contribution to achieve these goals. You are familiar now probably with the technology readiness level scale. It's basically the scale that divides the innovation maturity of new solutions from basic research to their readiness to deployment. And indeed, you have projects funded at European level that are covering the entire TRL scale. You can have research innovation actions targeting low TRL projects. You can have innovation actions, research innovation actions, sorry, just want to tell you, of course, funded 100%. Innovation actions where the innovation risk is lower. You can have from tier 5 to 4 and 5 to tier 7. So when you're almost ready to test with your existing customers, but you can also get towards market deployment. And this is done, for instance, through the EIC Accelerator, which is a branded finance tool from the Commission, but also, and it's very, very important, synergies with other programs. Because Horizon Europe, more than before, has been conceived with a synergy by design approach. Horizon Europe is a very large funding scheme. You have 95.5 million euros in total funding, but it's not alone in the range of programs offered by the Commission. So it's been designed to work in collaboration, in synergy with them. And you can have the Life and Innovation Fund, for instance, in the green transition area. You can have the Digital Euro program and the Connect Euro facility more on the digital side. You have InvestEU. You have the EU for Health, which is, of course, about health, and the European Defence Fund. Again, self-explanatory in what it targets. How these synergies are enabled and enhanced Commission has done a significant effort in harmonized legal and financial rules. Of course, there are some specificities in all this, but the Commission has made rules all the same in a way that we have the cost criteria, the eligibility criteria are all the same. It's much easier than before to complement and integrate in a synergy this funding tool. We have the first results. They are still confidential. We have almost 5 million euros in project approved in the area of increasing sustainability and the resilience of the industrial sector. And it's very important for me personally to mention that we have an increased number of newcomers successful in this area. We have successful projects in energy, research infrastructure, EIC Pathfinder, ERC. We have many, many more ready to come. We have received yesterday a batch of results that have been communicated to you now in the area of batteries. So we are starting to do really, really well in Horizon Europe. There has been some technical delays due to the negotiations, but still we are seeing already the impact of Horizon for our players. So it's your turn. It's important that you define what you're interested in, that you understand what the projects are and what have been available. They analyze what has been holding you back until now, and work on your value proposition, participate to brokerage event. But very, very much important, come and talk to us. We can guide you. And we can guide you towards your future participation. We have a national contact point in Luxembourg, so we are always ready to help. It's very important also that you think that it's not tomorrow what you're going to get. It's it takes some time to start your project. So it's a few months for proposal writing, 8 months from submission to the project start after the project is evaluated. So think long term. When you come to us, discuss with us what are your medium to long term priorities so that we can align your ideas with what's coming from Europe. Europe is working mostly on biannual program, so it's easier for us to see what's coming, and we also participate to, as I told you, to the definition of the priorities, so we can really work for the future together. So before going for the roundtable, I just wanted to introduce to you our team. First person cannot be here as she is on maternity leave and busy with her newborn daughter. Sana Ranta, she's the NCP for Cluster 2, Cultural, Creative and Inclusive Societies, and Cluster 5, Climate, Energy and Mobility. Next one is Geraud. Geraud had probably to leave for... No, he's still here. Thanks, Geraud, for being here.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm still here, but I hope you will excuse me because I unfortunately have a conflicting agenda. Good morning, everyone. So you can see who I am on the screens. I'm responsible for the digital aspect of the cluster 4, which gather industry with my colleague Francisco and space with my colleague Charles Kuhner. I'm also supervising the cluster 3 on civil security and research infrastructures.
Thank you, Geraud. Next on the list, Charles Betz. Charles.
Hi, thank you, Stefano. Welcome to you all. My name is Charles. I cover the areas of ERC, the Marie Curie programs, as well as health research. And I will cover, in the afternoon, we'll have a question and answer session on these topics. Will not be a classical presentation, but more expecting questions coming from you. And then you'll see me in just a few minutes in the second roundtable this morning. Thank you.
Thanks, Charles. Rebecca's next. Please, Rebecca.
Yes, hi, welcome. So I'm Rebecca, and I'm NCP for the Cluster 6 on food, bioeconomy, natural resources, agriculture and environment, but also for the wider part of the program, which stands for widening participation and strengthening the European research area. And this afternoon, together with my colleague Francisco, we will be holding the session on enabling circular economy and what are the opportunities and the horizon in Europe. Thank you.
Thanks, Rebecca. I told you that the NCP team is not just in Lux Innovation, so Charles, please.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. My name is Charles Kerner. I'm a policy officer at the Luxembourg Space Agency and the national contact point for the space-related topics in Horizon Europe. So today at 2:30, I will be hosting the session Space Opportunities in Horizon Europe, and would be very happy to see you there today. So thank you for participating and enjoy the day.
Thanks a lot, Charles. Alex.
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Alexander Link, and I am in charge of defense activities at Lux Innovation. So this afternoon I will have the pleasure to moderate a session on defense, dual use and synergies, and we will be addressing both the European and the national perspective when it comes to creating synergies between civil, space and defense industry in order to support EU's ambition to become more resilient and also to establish European autonomy in strategic key domains. So looking forward to see you there.
Alex, you have some... Sorry, Alex, yes, there's some technical issues from your audio. Alex will, yes, indeed host a specific session on the European Defence Fund, where he's national focal point, and he will be happy to guide all the people who are interested in this parallel opportunity into this parallel opportunity. Thanks, Alex, and sorry if I had to catch you, but the was very bad connection. And Francisco, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Francisco. I'm the newest member of the team, and as NCP, I'm responsible for the industry part of Cluster 4, together with my colleagues Geraud for digital and Charles Koner for space, and also the European Innovation Council, including Pathfinder, Transition and Accelerator. And this afternoon at 1:30, I will be co-hosting with Stefano the session on Welcome to Horizon Europe. And 1 hour later at 2:30, co-hosting with my dear colleague Rebecca as well, the one on enabling circular economy. So I wait for you there.
Thanks, Francisco. Thanks very much. Francois.
Hello, everyone. My name is Francois Sprumont. I joined Lux Innovation in 2021, and I replace Sana Alaranta during her maternity leave. I'm the national contact point for the Cluster 2, which is about creativity, culture, and inclusive society, and also the national contact point for the Cluster 5, which is about mobility, energy, and climate sciences. And this afternoon, I will have the pleasure to do a presentation about the European mission. It's a new initiative under the Horizon Europe.
Thank you very much, Francois. Just to close, I'm also your legal and financial contact point. So for all that kind of questions, and yes, together with Francisco, I'm covering the EAC. So thank you very much. We have recovered the slight technical issue that we had in the beginning. So I will be welcoming you soon into the first roundtable about the implemented equity transition. You will be moved automatically to the session, but of course you can do it also from yourself by clicking on it in the lobby. So I will see you there. Thank you very much for your attention, and please remember, chat is always there. Your questions are very important, and please respond to the poll. Thank you very much.